The Daily Nation has this morning, 26th February 2020, come up with an article that has made some fascinating revelations concerning the late Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei. The article quotes sources close to the investigation and sources close to the family. And on this show, I want us to analyze what they mean and indeed what the information tells us concerning this very unfortunate Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei issue. Now, according to this Daily Nation story, the late Kenei fell out with close associates, close aides of the Deputy President, months before his unfortunate death. And apparently, this falling out was so serious that the sergeant handed in a transfer request, a request to be transferred away from the Deputy President's office. What? However, he was apparently convinced to hang on and to forget about a transfer. The article tells us the person who convinced him was a cabinet secretary, unnamed. The story tells us the reason why Kenei fell out with his aides to the Deputy President was because he developed a very close relationship to the Deputy President. These associates of the Deputy President did not like the fact that Kenei appeared to be so trusted, so close to the Deputy President, that the Deputy President would even send him on errands to his Sugoi home, his upcountry Sugoi home in Uasin Gishu. And these jealous people therefore started making Bwana Kenei's work at the Deputy President's office very difficult. You see, it is emerging that Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei was head of security at the Deputy President's office at Arambe House Annex in Nairobi. It is also emerging that recently, when the Deputy President went to condole with the family of Kenei, Kenei's father, John Chesang, made a very passionate plea to the Deputy President to take charge, to supervise the investigations and ensure that we get to the bottom of this, and that those who murdered his son are identified and brought to book. And the Deputy President promised that he would do just that. Now stay with me, because towards the end of the show today, I'm going to introduce some other new information I've come across that may give us a few answers about a very nagging question many of you have been asking connected to this Kenei issue. But first, let us analyze this information that is before us. Is it possible for somebody to get murdered because of office politics, jealousy in the office? Those who have never experienced the very vicious nature of office politics may disagree. Those who may be unfamiliar with the motive behind the very first recorded murder of a human being may also disagree. But admittedly, it is rare for office politics to lead to murder, although it has happened. It happens, even though it's rare. The first documented murder of the human race was when Cain killed his brother Abel. The story is in the Holy Bible. And of course, the motive was jealousy. Now, what many people don't know is that even today, the number one motive for murder remains jealousy. Oh yes, human nature has never changed, and indeed it will never change. And bear in mind, this is not just any office we're talking about. We are talking about the office of a possible president-in-waiting. And you can be sure a vast majority of those people surrounding the deputy president have done their sums. They have done careful calculations. And some of them may not take kindly to anybody trying to interfere with those calculations of how precisely they will benefit when the employer ascends to the presidency. However, in my view, it is unlikely that this would be the chief motive in the murder of Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei. It may be a secondary motive, or a motive somewhere in the periphery, but not the main motive. That is my view. And there are few reasons why I have come to that conclusion. But I will give you one. Normally, murders as a result of jealousy. Notice I choose my words carefully, as always. Normally, not all the time. Normally, these jealousy murders are very personal. They will tend to have aspects or clues in them that suggest the murder was personal. Even if you have carefully plotted how you're going to do it, what tends to happen is that the fit of jealousy which pushed you over the edge will emerge in a fit of rage that will be very visible after the act is done. For instance, multiple stabbings, strangulation, torture or beatings before the killing, etc., etc. One bullet is normally execution style. To silence, or to get rid of an obstacle on your way. Although we all know that in this particular instance, it appears that somebody staged it to look like the sergeant took his own life. Now on to the other information I promised. Now somebody who is close to the investigation, when recently asked if this was indeed a suicide, had a very interesting response. He said that it is suspected this was a case of treachery. Now, that's a very interesting word. It means betrayal, by somebody you trust. And it is rather common, in most of these kind of cases. William Shakespeare, in his classic Julius Caesar, which was often quoted by my late political lecturer, highlights the treachery in the assassination of Julius Caesar, where the main plotter, Brutus, is very close to Caesar. Hence that very famous line, "Et tu, Brutus, then die Caesar." In other words, even you, Brutus, then I should just die. There's no reason for fighting to stay alive. But treachery is human nature, very common human nature. And in our case, what the person close to the investigation may have meant by using the word treachery may be the person or persons who lured the late sergeant to his death. Somebody asks you to meet them, and maybe it's at night, and you have no worry because you know them, you trust them. Kumbe, it is a trap to finish you. Because looking at this Kenei case, it is highly unlikely that he was finished off at his residence. Most probably, it was done elsewhere, and then the body later brought to the house. And chances are high, that the late Kenei was lured, to that meeting by somebody he trusted. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.